Hi, my name is Natalie Maeda, and today I'll be speaking about the need to eliminate bigotry and accept a variety of political opinions. Growing up in the 2000s is really interesting because it comes with the birth of technology. We're introduced to computers, cell phones, and tablets, and we're introduced to different technologies and softwares as well as the rise of social media. Social media platforms have evolved from things like MySpace to things like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all platforms which are used by millions of Americans today, including our president. Social media played a huge role in the recent presidential campaign and has played a huge role in President Trump's presidential term. Unfortunately for President Trump, it is a detriment to his reputation because it seems that the majority of America despises him. According to the Washington Post's Philip Bump, of the registered voters we surveyed, more than half indicated that there was no chance they would vote for Trump in his 2020 re-election bid. If so many people dislike Trump, how is it that he became president in the first place? It can't be possible that all these people voiced their opinions before the election. Perhaps if more people strayed from normative thinking before the election, things could have been prevented. This is why we need to have our own individual thought and make sure that we speak out when we know that we are against something, so we can prevent situations like these in which people have let a decision pass which they regret. Christine Flowers, a lawyer and a columnist for the Tribune content agency, wrote an article in which she explores the reaction of the results from the Mueller investigation on Trump, in which he investigates whether or not Trump was a Russian asset. The investigation resulted revealing that he was not in fact a Russian asset, but it evoked quite a response from the Democratic Party, in which many were outraged and many were even horrified that he was not in fact a Russian asset. Flowers states that the reaction is frightening. There is something twisted in the idea that Americans would rather have their partisan dreams fulfilled than be assured that the man who leads us is not a traitor. She also goes on to state that there are people who hate Trump more than they love this country, which I feel is dangerous, because if people are placing opinions about who a person is or whether or not they like a certain person above the needs of our country, they're misusing their political power. Furthermore, a Time magazine article by George Steer is descriptive of an event in which a 19-year-old man had been arrested for attacking an 81-year-old man wearing a MAGA hat. He goes on to discuss certain bars and restaurants banning customers for wearing MAGA hats. This intolerance of opposing opinions, this incapability to have a polite debate, and this narrow-mindedness is the definition of bigotry, which has brought us much trouble in the past. Conformity is a normal part of life. It is human nature, and it is a very easy choice to conform with the masses. Solomon Asch did a line test in which he had a group of lines, and he had one single line that matched one of the lines in the group, and he asked people to identify which line in the group was the line that is identified in the sample. He had 5 Confederates in a room along with one single test subject, and he found that many of the subjects conformed with the rest of the group when the group gave the false answer as directed by Solomon Asch, despite seeing with their own eyes that the answer was wrong. They began to doubt themselves and think that they were wrong and give false answers based on the answers of everybody else, unknowing that they were false answers given under false pretenses. He found that people were more likely to stray if one person who had answered previous to the test subject answered the correct answer. So if somebody has a partner who is willing to speak out, people are more likely to speak out as well. He also found in another variation something very interesting, as seen in this video.
In this variation, the subject is told that because he had arrived late, you would have to write his answers. Subjects in this private response experiment are exposed to the same amount of misleading information as other subjects, but they are immune from any possible criticism by the group.
1. 1. 1.
And this enormously reduces the pressure to conform. Conformity drops by 2/3.
So as you can see in the video, the fact that the speaking out against the group was maintained anonymous, that nobody else found out about it, that it was done in private, made it more likely to happen. So we are more comfortable speaking out for what we believe to be true if we know that nobody's watching. But in this day and age, everybody is watching. But we can use this social media, which makes us so vulnerable, as a form of power. We can use it to educate other people, to learn from other people, to provide a variety of opinions and options for our youth to pick from and form their own core beliefs. And the next time that you see something that you disagree with, have the courage to challenge it, spark debates, learn from people, teach people, and most importantly, acknowledge the value of different opinions. Don't just tolerate it. Thank you. That concludes my speech.